Today's topic is out with the old and in with the new. It's time for change. As I said, today we're going to talk about out with the old and in with the new. And we've been consulting practices for 33 years now, and we've seen a lot of old ways of doing things, and there's a lot of new ones evolving thanks to COVID and just plain and simple people being inventive. There is a famous saying from Peter Drucker, who is a well-known management guru. He says, before you can do something new, you have to stop doing something old. And I think that's sort of the message that I want to get across today is, there's a lot of things changing, and now with COVID almost over, or basically over, we can go back to some old ways that were successful, but maybe we have to adopt some new ways of looking at things. I mean, it's everything, and it doesn't even have to do with having had a pandemic that we've lived through. It has to do with technology. Technology, for instance, is always changing. And, it comes with, when you get a new piece of equipment, in different professions, there's always evolution happening and new techniques or new technology. And that comes with some expenses of buying the equipment necessary to shift into that new way of delivering. And then there's the time it takes you to get trained on the equipment and the new way of doing things, including your team. And then on top of that, you have to integrate the equipment or the new way of doing things into the practice. So you've got the equipment or your new techniques. You've gotten everybody trained. Now you actually have to integrate it. Well, do you have to change your scheduling? Do you have to change what times staff do things at differently? There's just even your pattern of what you're going to say to present it to the patients or the clients of your practice. So that's one thing with technology, but you have to move forward. You really do. There is cultures that are changing. It used to be that, you came into work in the morning and you got through your day and you did your work and it was all good. But younger staff nowadays, they want to have a little more fun than that, and they want to have some culture, some practice culture, it's called, where you have, things that are enlivening, that make the practice fun. When you come in the morning, you look forward to it because something interesting is going to happen today. You have, things that they can be involved in, and online material that they can read or watch a webinar on a certain topic relating to their position in the practice. There are courses that you can sign them up for where they can expand their skill set in order to help the practice evolve as well. And these are just new things that need to change. Sometimes you need to put some games into the practice and encourage lunch and learns together, or that they, have birthday celebrations. I'm just naming, some of them are just like standard things that have always been done, but maybe not in your practice. So have a look at online. There's a lot of good ideas. We did a photo scavenger hunt with my staff. So for a whole week, I made a list of things they had to take a picture of, and it had to be the real thing. Like one of them was a giraffe. It had to be a picture of a real giraffe, not a photo of a photo. And it actually didn't have to be a real giraffe. If they did a stuffed animal, I accepted it, which some of them did. But not a picture of a picture. Like they had to actually find a motorcycle with a sidecar on it. Now that was the one that stumped most of them. And one staff member on the very last day, just before cutoff time, was in a parking lot at Staples picking up some stuff for the office. And there one was. And she said to the man, "May I take a picture of this?" And that actually helped her team win the contest. So I divided the staff into two teams. It doesn't matter if you have 4 staff and you divide them on 2 and 2. And they put all the pictures that they found of all the 50 items that I gave them, as many as they could find, and they put them into one person's camera, and I reviewed them all to see which team won. And they got to choose a $25 gift certificate at a place of their choice, which at Shoppers Drug Mart, they have all these gift cards, and you can actually choose them for, this restaurant or that gym or this shoe store or whatever. So they can choose whichever one they want. It was so much fun, and they said it was very extroverting because, you're at work and you're just, doing things, and then you go to lunch and now you're looking around at your world and you come back refreshed. And then after work on the way home, not while they were driving, they were taking pictures of things that they saw on the way home. A little boy with a red umbrella. So they had to wait for a rainy day to happen, which did, and one of them found a little boy with red umbrella. I just thought of some fun things that I saw and put them on a list, and it was a riot, but they all had so much fun. They were giggling over these, showing each other, blah, 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 secretiveness, and not saying where they got the picture from, and, to the other team. So all I'm trying to say is you want to make your practice have some fun, and it's not just with the patients and getting through their day, but maybe some additional things that bond them as a team. And staffing is changing, by the way, so that's the next topic. Staffing is changing. More and more people want part-time hours. More and more people want more money. Some are shifting and shuffling to other practices in order to get more money. You have the corporations that are buying up practices and paying the staff a lot of money. And so there's a lot going on, and it's very important that you look at new ways of doing things. Most practices, the staff have to be present. It's not a matter if they can work from home, which for the business world at large, that's become quite an interesting topic. Even ourselves during lockdown, because we were locked down for 3 months and then for 6 more months, starting in Christmas 2020 until July 2021. So we were out of our offices, and we had to learn how to operate in the cloud with each other, with Zoom meetings all day on and off, and getting things done. And it worked, but I didn't like it, and my team are very happy to be back in the same location working together. So there you go. But for practices, that's pretty much not an option. But some people want to homeschool their kids or want to spend more family time, and you are getting these different changes that are not necessarily your cup of tea. And so you have to work out what works best for you and your practice, because you know what? You are there to deliver service to patients, ideal care. And you have to keep in mind that every change or improvement you make in the practice should result in ideal care for your patients. The next thing to talk about is finding good staff. And I just want to say something. You have to do different things now. You have to be better at writing ads. You have to make sure your Google reviews are awesome. This came up this morning. I talked to this doctor who was like, I've had an ad out for 2 positions in my practice and not one applicant. Well, number one, he is, his hours are 7:30 in the morning till 5 days a week. Who wants to work those hours? You have to be pretty damn desperate for money to do that. So you're not going to get the best possible candidates. Secondly, the Google reviews, 104 of them, 13 of them are not okay. So people, when they're candidates, they will look at the hours in your ad, and they will, and then they'll look at your Google reviews, and they always look for the lowest one first, like look and see what do the bad ones say. And they hit that 13 bad ones in a row by asking for the worst. And after that, they don't even read on, because the rest of the reviews are actually very, very good. But you just get killed off by the 13 bad ones. So that is why he's not getting the staffing that he wants, candidates applying. So, but you also have to write very intriguing ads. There are a lot of ads out there, and there's a lot of positions. But if you say, I'm just going to take a sample one, dental assistant needed for progressive practice, great benefits, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, occasional Saturday. I don't know. I've seen these typical ads. I'm not going to apply to that. If I saw another one that said, needing special person for the front end of our very, very advanced practice, who has a perpetual smile, loves taking care of people, bends over backwards to give them the best possible service, willing to pitch in with the rest of the team who are very awesome. I don't know. I'm just making up something on the spot here, but you get the idea. Like, which ad am I going to apply to? Mr. Boring, or something that looks very intriguing and like some fun and like some action and something that would keep me interested in going to work every morning? I think factually I want to make the point that there are very good staff out there, and some of them are looking for positions because their boss is retired or moved on and they don't like the new boss, or they took the time off to be with the kids because their schools were locked down and they were homeschooling them and now they're ready to go back to work. There's always a shifting and shuffling of very good staff. And so you have to write an ad and put it in enough places that they are going to find it. I once made a list a couple of weeks ago of 13 places where you could put your ad that would get seen. There's a lot. You can just Google it. What are free places where I can put an ad for a staff member, to find a staff member? Honestly, that's what I did. And I got a whole bunch. I mean, just to give you a couple ideas, like they're having a landing page, a career opportunities page on your website, and listing that at the front. So, you know, in the navigation where it says career opportunities, that's the least that you should do. Having, just trying to think of unusual ones. Post Facebook ads, they're very inexpensive. You can also do Google ads. They're not that expensive for hiring. For various other aspects of practice, they can be, especially in the big cities. But outside the big cities, they're not that expensive. Of course, Indeed, everybody in Canada knows about Indeed, which is a great site and it's free. You can actually really utilize that site in more ways. Like if you have to make a company page when you're setting it up to advertise there. On your company page, it says right on Indeed, I read the instructions, it said it helps if you put a photo of your team or your practice. And you can also put a video where you could have your staff all together saying, well, I like working here because blah, blah, blah. And I like working here because everybody loves each other. I like working here because you never know what's going to happen each day because we're always having fun while we get the work done. You know, who are you going to choose to apply to? Somebody who has no pictures and no video, or somebody who's brought it to life and looks like a fun team to go and work for? So there's changing times, and video is very, very, very current on your Facebook. You should have video. You should do YouTube videos. You should have a video on the front of your website so people can see who you are as the owner of the practice. It's just that's part of the changing marketing that's going on as well. It's becoming less words, more pictures. I don't know whether it's because in school the kids aren't learning how to read and write as much. I think there's a certain valid point to that, but they do like their videos and pictures because everybody has a cell phone now, and reading it is not as much fun as watching pictures and looking at TikTok and Instagram and those things. So, be current and get in all those places. So those are some things you can change as well. So I talked way too long today. I didn't mean to talk that long, but it got going. There's so much to change and so much excitement. And we're doing it in our business. We're having fun and expanding our horizons so that we can include more people as well. Now, the way you get to know us, by the way, is meet with me for a free in-depth practice analysis. It's 3.5 hours. I'm warning you right now. It goes so fast, you have no idea. We sometimes have to talk longer to cover everything because I analyze in depth your practice, every single aspect of it that you want to change, all your goals. Sometimes you don't even know what you should be changing, and you don't know what you don't know. So we go over all sorts of interesting things, and I present to you what we do or would suggest and would recommend. And so it's free. What can I say? What have you got to lose? Some time to get to know your practice better, and what can be done to make it more fun, make it expand, and reach your goals. So give me a shout, and let's set it up. I do these evenings and weekends as well as during the day. So just pick a time and we'll see if I can accommodate that. And well, I will find a spot where we can do it. Okay? So that's all I have to say, except share this video. If you want to inspire somebody else to change and improve, give me a like and subscribe to our channel. Okay? Thanks. Bye for now.
To get your practice analyzed, contact the Art of Management at 416-466-6217.